Hey guys, welcome back to Board Watch. I'm Brian.
Jessica.
And I'm Joey.
Alright, and we only have a couple of questions before we watch episode 7 here. Just general miscellaneous questions. So, Belongslow's wants to know what our current favorite story arc is and which one is the most intriguing.
I would have said...
All of us.
Oh,
I'm
always just
but yeah, no.
talker.
No, I was just clarifying for Jessica. And this is at this point in the show, obviously.
I would say, they're always hard because they have to go back. These are time travelers right here. They could just I could not imagine going back and being at this moment I get no. But anyways, it's easy for me to answer. So probably Daenerys's. I would say, but then honestly, since everything happened and I saw the wargs and I saw the freaking giants, I'm really excited to see what's on the other side of that wall.
Okay.
So I guess the wall.
So the wall is most intriguing, but is that your favorite also? No,
my favorite story is probably Rob's story right now.
Okay.
And I know that's very because he doesn't really have a story. I mean, he does have a story, but it's he's also a couple branches away from the original story.
Right.
But still, I think it's still my favorite. It was Tyrion was my favorite until Tyrion's story, but then recently it's gotten really mucky, and I just feel I don't know. I'm not as tied to it as much, especially with him having to deal with the whole Sansa thing, and it's been slow. I think a little bit with his story. They just keep giving bits and pieces, but Bar going up to him fighting in that war, his story was my favorite for sure.
And Jessica, intriguing and favorite up to this point?
Probably Daenerys. I mean, she's getting kind of badass with her dragons. And when she's got the Unsullied
and
now.
she speaks High Valyrian and knew about it. That was so badass.
That was really cool. I love that.
Yes.
I don't know.
And then
yeah, exactly, which is all men must serve.
All men must die, all men must serve, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I love that story, and she's really, I think, coming into her own. Before she was probably, I felt like she was kind of scared and stuff like that, a little timid, is not necessarily scared, but more timid as to the kind of moves that she would make as a leader.
Even,
once
she made them, she was still...
But I feel her first big move was when she got the Unsullied and everything.
Oh my
and
God,
now she's kind of coming into her own. She's all right, I can do this. You have not met the last dragon. I am a dragon.
That's the last thing she said.
Yeah, and she's I'm going to be an amazing ruler, and I'm... your advice is welcome, but I'm gonna go.
And she has 2 awesome advisors right now.
Yeah.
I would say, for me, most intriguing would also be the wall, just because we just watched the episode with the climb.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they're already talking about the wildlings are going to be on the opposite side of the wall, and they're wait until you see the biggest fire the North has ever seen. And the wildlings are all coming south because they're all running away from. So I definitely think that's the most intriguing.
Yeah.
I would probably not say it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But it's most intriguing for sure.
I'm trying to think what my favorite. It might be Rob. I also just always love stuff in King's Landing.
Yeah,
I mean,
King's Landing's really cool.
Especially again when we watched The Climb, there was that scene between Littlefinger and Varys. Talking about chaos.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
Just any scenes with Littlefinger or Varys or Tyrion or Lady Olenna.
Oh my God, Lady Olenna!
She's so badass.
There's just so many good scenes in King's Landing. So
her and Tywin's talk.
I would probably just say my favorite
in
general is King's Landing.
Yeah, I like King's Landing too, actually.
Because there's just so many good characters.
Speaking of King's Landing, this has absolutely nothing to do with the show, but I've been reading a lot of true crime books lately, and we've been watching this Game of Thrones, and last night I had a dream where there was a serial killer that looked exactly like Joffrey.
Oh man! A small one just running around killing people. Oh man!
And I was stuck smack dab in the middle of this horrifying situation. I was like, oh my God! It was horrible. It was horrible.
Oh man!
All right, and Lannister Roar wants to know your top 3 favorite actors in the show this far.
Acting's different than characters.
Yes, it is very different than characters.
I have to really think about that.
Lady
Olenna.
Okay.
I know, but probably Tyrion. But not just because he's also my favorite character. He's an amazing actor.
He really is.
And I'm going to surprise everyone right now. honestly, Theon, he killed his torture
his
scenes.
torture
That's
scenes
true.
has been really
I have
well.
never seen a torture scene where a person made me feel the pain more than he did. So I really have to, as an actor, as much as he's my least favorite character, I have to give it. He was also, he makes me really hate him. Like, I really truly feel like that the actor is definitely Theon. So, like, even if I saw him on the street, I would not like him. And for an actor to be able to do that is really impressive. So I definitely would say Theon as well.
I would definitely agree with Tyrion and Lady Olenna. I would probably say Charles Dance as Tywin.
Oh yeah, he's such a good actor. Oh, he's so good. There's so many good actors.
He just like whenever he's on the screen, like there are some people that they're good in their scenes and stuff, but like he takes command.
It changes
when he's on
the episode. Yeah, no, it really does. I agree. So.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely agree with you, with Theon. I think he is fabulous at emoting like his torture, his pain, his fears. Like I think
even his being scared.
Yeah,
too, yeah.
like it's great. And I love Peter Dinklage. So
Peter Dinklage is so cool.
He's such a great actor. I'm gonna throw this out there and say Jack Gleason for Joffrey. Anybody that can make you hate them that much on screen is gotta be doing their job well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the writing; it's the way that he portrays himself as like this little bitch that you just want to hate.
He really is Joffrey.
Yeah, no, you just hate him so much on so many different levels, and I'm like, you have to be talented in order to really portray that. So
this was tough to choose because there's so many good choices.
There really are.
There's so many good actors. That's why I keep thinking like.
So, but thank you for that question. And we're going to get into Season 3, Episode 7.
People work together when it suits them. They're loyal when it suits them. They love each other when it suits them. And they kill each other when it suits them. She knows it. You don't. Which is why you'll never hold on to her.
If he doesn't... John? Man... Weak right now, that's why he's dropping. In my opinion, he should at least punch him. Should have at least punched him in the face.
Lord Frey will take this delay as a slight.
He can take it as he likes. He's getting the wedding he wanted.
He's getting the wedding. It was a king he wanted.
Edmure is the best match a Frey has had in the history of their house. We should all get some sleep.
The young wolf.
He has nice butts.
Little raw ass. I didn't even look at hers. That's crazy. I didn't even know her butt was showing. I like me some Rob right now, apparently. Kalissa's my favorite too, which is the worst.
I know she'd love to meet you. And her grandchild.
What now? Are you certain?
I'm gonna say that if I ever get told it. Girls, are you certain?
We're very complicated, you know. Pleasing us takes practice.
How do you know all this? Did your mother teach you?
Yes, sweet girl.
Oh, she's so dumb.
A tall child.
So if I wanted to attend a council meeting, I would now have to climb all the stairs in the Tower of the Hand?
We could arrange to have you carried them.
The wise masters of Yunkai have sent a gift for the Silver Queen. There is far more than this awaiting you on the deck of your ship.
My ship?
Yes, Khaleesi. As I said, we are a generous people. You shall have as many ships as you require.
And what do you ask in return?
All we ask is that you make use of these ships. Sail them back to Westeros where you belong and leave us to conduct our affairs in peace.
I have a gift for you as well. Your life.
My life.
And the lives of your wise masters, but I also want something in return. You will release every slave in Yunkai. Every man, woman, and child shall be given as much food, clothing, and property as they can carry as payment for their years of servitude. Reject this gift, and I shall show you no mercy.
You are mad. We are not Astapor or Karth. We are Yunkai. And we have powerful friends who would take great pleasure in destroying you. Those who survive, we shall enslave once more. Perhaps we'll make a slave of you as well. You swore me safe conduct.
I did. But my dragons made no promises, and you threatened their mother.
Take the gold.
Oh, that's badass.
My gold. You gave it to me, remember? And I shall put it to good use. You'd be wise to do the same with my gift to you. Now get out.
I was born in Fleabottom.
Your blood is noble.
You saying my father, he was some lord or...
There. Your father's house.
I'm just a bastard.
The bastard of Robert of the House Baratheon. First of his name, King of the Andals and the First Man. Why do you think the Gold Cloaks wanted you? There is power in a king's blood.
Oh my God, like Wolfgar. Won't do you no good.
I owe you a debt.
When Catelyn Stark released you, we both made a promise to her. Now it's your promise. You gave your word. Keep it and consider the debt paid.
I will return the Stark Ghost to their mother. I swear it.
Qyburn hopes your father will force the Citadel to give him back his chain.
Father will make me Grand Maester if he grows me a new hand.
You will give my regards to Lord Tywin, I trust.
Tell Robb Stark I'm sorry he couldn't make his uncle's wedding. The Lannisters send their regards.
We need to make him feel better. And how can we make him feel better?
I have an idea.
Plenty there for both of us.
Oh, he's gonna get hurt so bad after this. I feel so bad for him.
I'm not really giving him a choice.
Oh no, the trumpet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Terrible timing. Your famous cock must be very precious to you. Would you say it's your most precious part?
No mercy, please! Please, mercy, mercy!
This is mercy. I'm not killing you. Just making a few alterations. No! 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 Please, no!
I know it. If you attack the wall, you'll die. All of you.
All of us.
You're mine.
us will live.
We're not going to Castle Black.
What did you say?
I told you already. Jon Snow isn't there. Bran needs to find the Raven beyond the wall.
Oh no, I'm not going back there. Your brother is at Castle Black. That's where we're going. Look at me. The Raven's been coming to me ever since I fell from that tower. He wants me to find him. I don't have my legs anymore. This is what I have now. You have a family. You need to go back to Castle Black so you can get back to them. Where you belong. Well, do I belong in the north? What if I fell from that tower for a reason?
So why did the Citadel take your chain?
Curiosity. The only way to treat disease is to understand disease. The only way to understand it is to study the afflicted.
He performed experiments on living men.
On dying men.
With that permission.
My studies have given me insight.
I serve Lord Bolton. Any appreciation
You
your
think
father...
you're getting a reward? Let me explain something to you. When my father sees me, the first thing he's going to ask is what happened to my hand. And I'm going to tell him, this man chopped it off.
I am
Or
not...
I could tell him, this man saved my life. We return to Harrenhal. Now.
Wow, Lord Tywin is such a bull.
Right?
Jesus.
Everyone's terrified of him.
Everyone is terrified of him. He said, we return to Harrenhal now. Damn.
Shit, man, they were talking about him in season 1 before you even met him.
No,
And
I
they
know.
thought, like,
That's
you
true.
even were like, shit, man, this guy like owns the world.
Lord
Even
Tywin.
before you even met him.
I knew he did.
Get behind me.
You're not.
Fuck you, you're in my fire! Lord Bolton charged me with bringing him back to King's Landing. Alive! And that's what I aim to do. Pull her up!
What do you think is more important to Lord Bolton? Getting his pet rat a reward or ensuring Tywin Lannister gets his son back alive? Well, we must be on our way. Sorry about the sapphires.
Wow. That showed a lot for him to go back.
Right?
That added some depth to his character.
Yeah. And that's the Lannister song playing right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Castle Rock song.
Reigns of Castle.
Reigns of Castle.
So.
All about his daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy. So yeah, the name of that episode was "The Bear and the Maiden Fair."
Oh,
so it's the song that they've been singing. The Bear, and the Maiden Fair.
Yeah. And then the bear at the end.
Yep. Don't know if there's really no dual meanings to that episode. Let's just stick with Jaime and Brienne. So Pat Logic just kind of wants to know what's up with Locke, the guy that was trying to keep Brienne there. And
is that his name?
Yeah, like
he hates Jaime.
And what do you think Roos's opinion of? What if he hears about what just happened and stuff? If he had tried to kill Jaime, then Roose would be pissed.
Oh, yeah. I think Roose is going to scold him and be like, do you even understand who his dad is? Which is weird because Roose Bolton is supposed to be like one of Rob's
Bannerman.
Yeah, Bannerman, and strong behind him too, and one of his wasn't he consulting him a few times?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for him to be scared like that and immediately just cower behind and be like, we gotta give his son back, don't piss off his son, when he just had him in chains before that.
But he is alive. The most important thing is that Jaime's alive. He would not have survived we've said this a few times, that he would not have survived at the encampment.
No, obviously, as we could see what they did to those boys.
Yeah, the Lannister boys.
I agree with Rob's decision on that still.
Liz wants to know your thoughts on their relationship now that Jaime rushed back for Brienne.
It's going to build. I don't know if it's a romantic one.
Well, but there's a relationship.
There's a relationship there, exactly. And I think he just has a respect for her, and he's interested by her, and I feel like, he's come really close to death a lot, and, his life's changed a lot, so I think he's just kind of, trying to value things a little bit more. And you even kind of saw how he's talked about, my life's been shit, and, it's not going to be any better, and then, I feel like he's been away from his sister a while, and so maybe he's not really feeling any love from anyone.
Now, Movie Lover Fan 18, of course, wants to ask, now that they've been through a lot together, he made a vow to Brienne before he left the first time, before he came back to save her. He's like, I will bring back Kat's daughters, so do you think that he will follow up on that vow?
I think he'll try, but I don't think he'll be able to.
Okay.
I think maybe he'll try to she'll keep pushing for him too, once they're there, and then maybe he'll try to sneak her out, and then he'll get stopped or something.
Well, plus it's only Sansa that's there right
now.
Yeah,
nobody knows where Arya is.
So if anything, just partially, but
partially Sansa. And I don't even think he'll be able to get Sansa out.
Okay. And then Movie Lover Fan 18 also wants to know your thoughts on Qyburn, the guy who got his he was a maester, but he got his chains taken away.
Oh, he's gonna be probably a torturer. I mean, I don't want to say he's a torturer, but he's got something dark about him.
He says he understands a lot. He saved countless lives because of the experiments he's done on the living.
Yeah. No, I know. I couldn't tell if he's going to be to me, he seems like a negative. Even though, he helped out Jaime, seriously. But, I don't know. It still just seems for him to get pulled, and it just seemed like Jaime was kind of weary of him.
Wasn't he the guy that Rob found?
They found it at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just at Harrenhal right there.
Right, I'm just saying that's the living guy that they found.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was working at Harrenhal, and Harrenhal, they torture people, and, he probably was, helping them. I don't know. He just seems like a negative.
No, he before Rob took over Harrenhal, it was. Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, on that note, if he gets back to King's Landing, do you see him getting his Maester chains back?
Probably.
Depending on favor with Jaime and Tywin.
Well, favor with Tywin, but he's already got Jaime's favor. I think he's slowly building it. But I think favor with Tywin.
And how will that go with the other Maesters?
I think
they already took his chains once.
I think they'll be frustrated, and I feel like Maester Pycelle,
yeah,
is going to be very frustrated with it. But I also feel like Maester Pycelle is not really adding shit to anything right now. And I feel like maybe even
we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, and I feel like Tywin may be distrusting of Maester Pycelle.
Okay.
Just because he was on when he was with what's his name too.
He's been with the past 3 years. Aerys.
Targaryen, the Mad King.
So Aerys, Robert, Joffrey, Maester Pycelle.
So I think Tywin's seen that too, and I think he's also probably weary, so to get a new Maester in maybe, and just I don't know. I feel like he'll climb amongst the ranks there.
Okay. since we're already in King's Landing, there actually weren't too many King's Landing questions. It was just Belangelos, actually. Sansa... Oh, Sansa's thoughts on Tyrion. Like, she was talking with Marjorie. That was just hilarious. First off, that conversation was just hilarious. It's like, how do you know these things? Like,
my
mother told me. It's just like...
She's so, yeah, it just shows her innocence with just that.
Yeah.
It's also kind of sweet, though.
Well, sad, I mean, that she has to be with Tyrion.
But she's still daydreaming of Loras, and,
Yeah.
you know, like, so, thoughts
so
on
naive.
just Sansa's take on the whole situation.
I mean, she's sad. I mean, she went from, like, horrible fate to, like, really, really saved, and possibly her dreams come true, to, like, go to Highgarden and be a, princess there, and, like...
To the...
Or not a princess, but I guess, like,
the
a
Knight
high
of the
lady.
Flowers
Right,
or
of a
whatever.
flower,
Yeah.
and she's already liked him before, and,
Right.
like... it was like her dreams come true, and it was even better than when, Littlefinger said he could get her out. So she's went through a whole range of emotion, and to now find out you're staying. Out of all the people, though, Tyrion's not the worst that she could be with. I really don't mind it, and he's definitely going to protect her and keep her safe, which is good. And he'll have some gravity with that, but then also, I feel like she's not going to be happy with it regardless.
Okay. And then Belangelos also wants to wonder if Tywin is right when he says, well... I mean, Tywin doesn't think the dragons are a threat.
Tywin also doesn't think the walls are needed either. I feel like that's one of his downfalls, is his ignorance, and I feel like he's very overly confident.
Well, because he was mentioning that, the last time the dragons were big was back with Aegon the Conqueror, but like from generation to generation, the dragons just kept getting smaller and smaller. By the time that the most recent dragons were the size of an apple. Yeah, the size of an apple. So.
Yeah.
He's getting reports that the dragons are small.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be ignorant. I'm just saying, I feel like, he's ignorant to that fact. I'm not saying, but he's also ignorant to the White Walkers, too, and, that's not necessarily his fault. They have never been around, but also...
For, thousands of years.
He's an educated man. I feel like he knows that, and I feel like, he doesn't feel like it's a necessity, and it's interesting to see that Joffrey does. And it's not just his fear. There was a little bit of education behind it. This is still a threat. I'm going to give him a little bit of credit here.
He's not concerned about the people, though. He's concerned about his own throne.
But that's the point, kind of. He's concerned about his power, and I'm saying I'm giving him that. Not necessarily he's a better king,
Like
but
I'm saying, it was his most kingly moment.
He's coming into, his power better, is my point. He's not necessarily being a better king, but if he's going to stay on the throne in his best interest, he needs to start thinking about these things, staying open-minded to things, and not just necessarily cutting them off like I feel like Tywin does sometimes. That's Tywin's downside. Is that's why Rob keeps running.
I mean,
Tywin thinks he gets it, and he does, and he moves on from it. So I feel like Joffrey's a little more open-minded, at least.
Okay. And then since we're kind of talking about Dany, we'll head over there. Dragon5616 wants to know your thoughts on Dany's decision to free the slaves of Yunkai. Is that the right decision? Is that a smart decision?
I think it's smart. I mean, even if there's 200,000.
200,000 slaves,
So let's hypothetically say only a quarter of them come. And let's say...
Well, not necessarily warrior slaves, just slaves.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, some of them... Right? I'm saying, let's say even a quarter of them, hypothetically, could be warrior slaves, or could be trained to be warrior slaves, or could be, even just people that she could have to help, you know what I'm saying? And even regardless, she's still making the moral decision to do it. That's still great. Even if so, she's getting ships, she's getting money, she's getting... If she sacks the city...
Well, yeah. She'll still get the ships if she sacks the city anyway.
And she'll get the gold. More gold, even.
She's got gold now to buy
and she'll have people to follow her, and having people is important, whether or not they're fighters or not, whether having people just...
She was just given the opportunity, though, to just take the gold and take all the ships she would need. She'd be able to sail to Westeros right now.
Yeah, but
all the ships that she would have needed to go to Westeros with her army of 8,000 Unsullied and 3 dragons.
Yeah, but she could have more now. That's my point. And I feel like she's also doing the morally decision. She's fighting back for moral.
She's showing more qualities of a leader.
Yeah, and she is. And you have to be confident with yourself, because this is the thing, when you're shaking hands with your enemy like she had to be, they're going to offer you things that you think that they're trying to tell you is right. Just like Doxos and that's the whole point, and I'm sure our game will be, is just getting people to think that that's what in your best interest. No, seriously, this is what you want. So I feel like she does a good job of being well, not what I want, and I'm the one at power. And that's a pretty, I feel like she gave him enough to where it's like she didn't just immediately like bully him, which was cool. She gave him an opportunity, but then she stayed firm in what she needed to do, and so she's definitely growing favor of me. She's probably top 5 now. Favorite characters. She's earned my respect with this whole slave. Without the slave thing, I don't feel like I care about Daenerys, nor care about her stake in this whole thing. But now that she's like, that's my point. That's the biggest thing with these slaves, is that she's getting a little bit of a reason why she's like the people's champ,
Okay, cool.
Breaker of chains.
Breaker of chains.
Yeah,
that's her new title.
She's got a lot.
She's adding things to
Daenerys
it.
Stormborn, Queen of the Andals in the first Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons. She's
getting some titles.
She's
so
getting some titles.
She's definitely starting to grow. She was getting towards the bottom for me, but
she's working her way
back up.
All right. Is she gonna pass Jon?
Maybe. John's really messing up. John needs to pick a side. I hate this little tippy-toey shit that like him and Theon are doing. He's doing right now. Like, dude, either get on one side and try to help and try to like organize.
What can you do against the wildlings though? Like he's like surrounded by them.
Yeah, but I'm saying like inside I can see the struggle. And that's good that the actor can show me that, but I'm feeling his struggle. And there shouldn't be, is my point.
Okay.
I guess I want more confidence from the character, not from the actor, but from the character. And so I want Jon to know either fully, like, am I going to stay with them and try to like get them to like not kill everyone, but try to just come across. Like if I was him, he could be trying to convince them to just get across peacefully without trying to take Castle Black and just save all the sacrifice of all the men. And like, there's so many ways that he could become the person that he should become. But right now he's just staying by and just taking shit. And he needs to check that other dude. Like, little decisions. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but why would they go peacefully? Aren't they pissed that, like, everybody on that side of the wall took their land and, like, shoved them out and built a wall in the first place?
Yeah, but they've been pissed. And so, like, what is that going to change going and killing the few, whatever men that are at Castle Black? And if anything, it'll be smarter because it'll be much less resistance. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we're going to light a fire, they could try to get... I don't know if they're trying to say they can drill a hole through it or something, but I'm sure that's not the only entrance that there is, and so I'm sure they could find another entrance that's guarded, or even not Castle Black. There's other castles, too, so maybe he'll say not Castle Black, and like... I don't know, I'm just saying this, he should be working more, and he doesn't even talk to that dude, barely. He's just, like, listening quietly. He's become more of a support character to me, that's why he's dropped.
And Movie Lover Fan 18 wants to know your thoughts on the love triangle that's creating between Orwell, Jon...
I don't know if it's a love triangle, but she did hesitate a little bit too much. But, Egret likes Jon way too much, and Jon's now really liking her. And so, like,
it's the first woman he's ever been
Well,
with.
but there's already some tensions between...
He needs to, like, that's what I'm saying, he needs to kill this guy, like,
Orwell?
I guess I'm being a little too hard with the show, but you stab him, you don't let him.
Well, no, you said at least punch him in the face. At least punch him in the face.
Because this is the thing, in a fucked up world that they live in, that shit really happens. He could just get killed.
And you know what, actually, if you punched him in the face, the wildlings might actually respect him more.
Exactly, more. It's like, you just challenge your woman, and you just took that sitting down, and then he's talking to her, like,
He's like, I'll provide for you. Come with me.
His upbringing of like a lordly upbringing is almost bastard, but like he grew up in a proper house, and so like that's coming across almost too much in like a more
And that's my point is that he's fucking up whether he's trying to lie and say that he's a wildling and gain their trust, so then that way he can like betray them, get away, guide them somewhere else, like control them. Period. He's either messing up that way, or if he is going to be on their side, he's messing up that way. Because how are you going to be on their side and let that happen? And that guy is one of the higher guys around. Apparently, he's a wog or whatever, warg. So he's already talking shit about Jon. And so, like, at any point, he could kill Jon. Like, you can't let that guy live. Like, I don't know. I'm just, again, maybe I'm just like, kill him. Maybe I'm crazy at this point. But I would have killed him. So that's what pisses me off about Jon is that, like, it should not be a triangle.
He's got some bloodlust.
I got bloodlust. Someone needs to die. I haven't seen enough deaths.
Too much dignity and honor.
That's his downfall.
Well, speaking of some blood, Theon. I
thought you were going to say King's blood.
No. Well, we'll get there. Theon. Belongs wants to know just how much more torture does he need to go through.
He's going to go through a lot more, I think, which is messed up.
And Liz wants to know, is there an end in sight, and how?
I think he'll be let go. That's my point. I can't figure out the end because I can't figure out where he's at still.
You still don't know why he's doing what he's doing.
it might be something with the Lord of Light, because she said religious girl, and, like, the only thing that, like, I can think of, like, religion-wise is Lord of Light. That's, like, they've mentioned it as a religion, I guess, like the Seven, but, like, I don't know, I've never heard of it.
He's
like,
the one true God.
Yeah, and so, like, maybe it's something with, like, but I don't see what
she said she was training to be a Septon.
No, she said something about, like, you know what religious girls were like, and it's like, but,
yeah,
like,
but
Septons are religious people.
they... Septon... I know that there's Septons for the Seven.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's Septons for any of the other religions.
So, okay, well, I missed the Septon
Plus,
part.
they could have just been fucking with him.
Yeah, and
I mean, like, the whole point of that scene was to give him that false... Like, he freed Theon and caught him again.
No, I know.
Like,
and then once he got him back, and then he like let him go and had that whole little.
So now he's been freed twice.
Yeah, and he's still getting tortured. No, I don't know who hates him that much. And besides Jon, or not Jon, Robert, but Rob would have done it himself. So I don't think he'd have him tortured.
Yeah,
on
and he's
the
one.
point.
I mean, after what Ned taught him, like
He would have handled
the judgment.
He would have handled himself. So it's not Rob. And I don't think Tywin gives a shit that much, and Tywin's got like the only like pull that I could see that looks like that. If it is, oh my god! Imagine if it. No, I don't know. It could be still not the Pike. I keep want to call him Pike. Greyjoys.
The Greyjoys. Okay.
It could be the Greyjoys, and like that's his sister's like guy, and like that's who that guy is. Like her sister comes in and kisses him, and like that's like the guy who says that like he should have been like the Theon, and like Theon just comes back and thinks he can just do whatever, and like
because they were talking about how his cock was famous.
Yeah, exactly, and that would also explain why he's so pissed because like he did touch up all over his sister. I don't know.
He's a ladies' man.
Well, is his cock so famous?
I don't know. But he also said some shit about, like... But then he even said that, like, you're my father's man. But then he talked about that, didn't he? And he's like... I thought he talked about joking around that he was lying about being his father's... Who was the guy that was... Oh, originally, when he was like... He said that he was like, my father told me about you when he freed him. And that's why he freed him. Right. He was talking about it. So then maybe he was telling freedom, yeah. So maybe he was telling the truth, but then just not like telling all the truth. Is my point. So I don't know. The only thing that can make any sense is that he is working for his father in this fucked up thing, and like maybe this was just to make him like hardened, or like maybe this was to like just torture him for like the fact that he did that and like shouldn't listen. I don't know, but that's the only thing I can think of because I have nobody else makes any sense.
Okay, and then. So Liz wants to know. Let's head over to Bran. They keep on talking about the Raven, and Osha's very against going to the wall, or going beyond the wall. She's like, just stay with your brother. But like Jojen is talking to Bran about, you need to go, like follow what the Raven.
I'm definitely saying Jojen's with the one he should listen to.
Okay,
I trust Jojen at the moment.
Okay. But like, what's the deal with like the dreams of the Raven that he's been having?
I mean, it just keeps like luring him closer and closer. But I mean, they're all relevant, somewhat at least. Like the being where his father, like where he should have where he hid, was where the Raven was.
Okay.
And like, I don't know what the significance of climbing that tree was, but I just feel like it's.
Oh yeah, the Raven went through the crypts and then he was hiding there later.
Yeah, later there he was hiding there, and he saw his father apparently.
Yeah.
And so, but Rickon also sees
Rickon
things.
Also saw it, yeah.
And Rickon has visions too. And so, I don't know if he watched his father die, but he saw his father, and he went and talked to his father multiple times apparently. And so, Rickon has some other power, or at least, or a vision power. But I mean, it's still what defines them. I feel like, and so definitely, I think he should go with.
To understand it better.
Yeah, to understand it better. I mean, if anything, what is he going to do with the wall? Like, I get where he's coming from. It's like, am I going to be a cripple with the wall and wait for my brother to decide?
All right. Let's head over to Arya. Belongos,
oh man, I hope this is going okay with her.
Yeah, Belongos wants to know what the Hound's going to do with Arya.
I think he's going to save her from them. Maybe even take her. I was trying to figure out where he's going to take her. Because I feel like he's going to take her away from those guys.
Right.
And I feel like...
Because those guys did say they were going to take her to Rob. I mean, they would get some money out of it for Rob, but like... So they've got some side quests that they want to do, but they did say that they were eventually going to bring her back.
Yeah, but I feel like
Hound's
distrusting
really
of
in
them.
that. Okay, he's distrusting. Okay,
and I feel like she's now distrusting of them. So even on paper, if it looks like the right decision to stay, both of them are she ran away. Period.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
and
technically they lied to her.
He tried to kill the Hound, so neither of them are really for them. And I feel like if anything, he's gonna because everyone is, and I think that's the Hound's purpose is like he's not actually the evil one that like the Mountain is, and like I have not known him to rape anyone yet, and I have not known him to like he said commit any atrocities besides killing that boy, and who knows even what happened exactly because we didn't see that, and so. I feel like that, and he looks so gruesome. I feel like that's the point, is to be scared of him, but he's actually like not a bad guy. And I keep being reserved about that because I keep being like, he's gonna fucking be what I think.
Right, yeah.
And then each time he keeps surprising, and so I really think like he's gonna just end up being like a help to Arya, keeping her safe. I don't know if they're going to the Wall. Okay. I don't mean to be Maester Lewin right now, but like, go to the Wall.
Bring everybody to the Wall!
But I feel like that's the most logical place for him to go right now, because he hasn't, unless he's just going to keep trying to go tavern to tavern and not get killed, being a Night's Watchman is like...
So he's going to take her there with him?
Yeah, because like I feel like, I don't know if he knows the fact that Jon's there. That'd be a weird thing for him to know.
That Jon's not there?
Well, no, that Jon's there even. Like,
my
point is that if he for sure knew that Jon was there, then he would be like, let's just take you there, you can be with your brother, and da-da-da. Let's not go to the... Unless he goes and fights for the freaking North, that would be crazy. If he fought on the other side and
Just
fought for
being pissed
Robb.
at the way the Lannisters...
Exactly, and how he was treated, and so he ended up taking just Arya back immediately, but then I don't see Arya, and I don't even see the Hound in that whole situation. I can't see that. I can see them at the Wall. I can't see them there, so that's why I really feel like it's like they're probably going to the Wall.
So she'll get back to some family.
She'll get back to some family, and I feel like he's not as bad as everyone thinks.
Okay.
And that's the point of his character, I think.
And then last thing, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we mentioned Gendry a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So Liz wants to know your thoughts on Gendry finally finding out who his father is. And if there's any long-term significance, what the Red Woman going to do?
I'm trying to decide, because at first she really seems like Arya not trusting her is important.
Okay.
Because I think it gives us, like, take a drink foreshadow of what her true intentions are, because the show does a really good job of like giving you what's going to happen, making you forget what's going to happen. Hey, you have a drink. That's where making
my
you,
drink.
Make you think this is what's going to happen after you already been told what's going to happen, and then going back to that, and you're like, but I thought, and the show's like, no. And so
right.
I feel like that you right now you get this sense of like, oh, Gendry's like finally getting like someone who respects him, and then I feel like just like with the whole Theon situation, he's gonna get to like come back and he's gonna get like blood spilt, and I know Stannis isn't gonna give a shit because Stannis is already crazy, and so I feel like that'll be, and maybe him and Davos will team up. That would be cool.
Okay.
Gendry and Davos eventually.
And Liz wants to point out that George R.R. Martin has actually written a few episodes for this show.
Ooh,
so
was this one of them?
Yes, this was one of them.
Ooh, good job.
Yeah,
I like this one.
In season 1, he did episode 8.
Ooh, right before Ned's death.
Right, yeah. So when he got betrayed. By
and he was like in the cell. And
and then he did Battle of Blackwater.
Oh, that's a good one too.
He wrote that episode.
Wow, you really feel those when you write some. You should write more. I mean, you should write all of season 8. Like I know you're not even there, but like you should write all of season 8. There.
Yeah, he hasn't even gotten that far in the books.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying you got to take your time with it.
He has his outline.
Yeah.
You're right. So yeah, no, like it looks like he's doing about one per season. Has your thoughts on any of those particular episodes changed due to this information? I mean, you probably don't really remember too much from episode 8. What?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, I remember that like Varys went and came and talked to him, and like that was the scene where it's darker. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Couldn't put my finger on it, but it's darker, and not in a crazy way, but like mentally, you can feel the heaviness when he writes. I feel like because like even in this torture scene, it wasn't mentally heavy; it was just visually and loud. But like this torture scene, even though I'm sure he didn't write it differently necessarily, like. Just the overwhelming, like the mental darkness of it was like a lot more, and I feel like in that scene where Ned was visited by Varys, and like Varys was like, "I could free you, but I'm not." Like, there's just like he dances so well when his writing that like keeps you on just like this almost torment, and so I can feel that throughout it.
Psychologically thrilling.
Yeah, he's really good with his psychological torment. Not even torment, but just his darkness with it.
All right.
Yeah.
I forgot about this when we were in King's Landing. I just loved, like the shots of Tywin, at the bottom of the steps, and then just like slowly just walking up the steps, and he's like, "We could have you carried."
Yeah.
Just that power shift.
But it's
and
not
the perspective
as big,
of the camera.
It's not as big a power shift as I thought. I'm not gonna lie. I understand he still needs to be like proper, but even him had to catch himself a few times, and I feel like Joffrey's still a wild card.
Okay.
And so.
Did you see how he kind of backed away though when
he
Tywin
was
stepped
like
up?
uneasy.
Oh yeah.
He's
like,
no, he's very,
I'm the king.
He's very uneasy, and I feel like they want you to feel that. But I'm also saying he didn't back down as much as I thought, and he didn't even get struck. Like I thought Tywin
He
struck
asked some good questions,
and he asked some solid questions. So I feel like if anything,
you said it's the most kingly he's ever appeared so far.
I wouldn't say that. It's the
I said that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said
I wouldn't say kingly. I would. Well, I mean, yeah, kingly, but I would. My point was more just that, like, he's handling his power the best I've seen so far.
He's not a good king
by
any means. But I mean, like, I feel like that's the most ruler-like thing that he's done.
Yeah, I guess there's just like nice connotation to kingly for me, so it's like that's why I want to say he's kingly, but like ruler-esque, yeah.
Yeah, like anything that indicated that he was in charge.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about from the episode?
Did we cover? I'm trying to feel like we're missing something of the episode. No.
We talked about the bear.
We talked about. I guess I just didn't feel enough for Daenerys. I didn't get enough Daenerys love.
She only had that one scene where
like
she stole all the gold.
Pretty badass, though.
It was a badass scene,
yeah. It's like,
and the dragons are getting bigger.
It was a gift. You gave the gold to me. Keep it. Keep it here.
Like, my dragons didn't make any promises.
And I like how she was talking to Jorah, like, go do this, go do that.
Go
figure out who their allies are.
Go figure out who their allies are.
Yeah,
She's smart.
Yunkai says, we are no Karth or...
Yeah, we have allies.
Yeah.
We don't, yeah. So, I mean, and they probably do.
That's the one.
But, I don't know, that's going to be interesting to see who their allies are and, like, that whole side of it. But no, I'm excited to see
who their powerful friends are.
Cool.
Cannot wait.
All right. So, it's a good place to leave it there, and we will see you guys next time, all right? Thank you.
Bye.